Quick disclaimer, the comments made in this podcast are not meant to be hurtful or insulting to the authors of the highlighted fanfiction. Any seemingly degrading comments are made in jest and are not meant to be taken seriously. Similarly, anything read as part of the fanfictions do not represent the values of the hosts.
Hello everybody, welcome to Pick a Fic. I am your host Micah, and with me is my good brother Jason. Jason, how are we doing today?
Oh, you know. Good,
Yeah?
I guess.
Yeah, nothing happening? Nothing's happening with you?
No.
All right. Well then,
Is something supposed to happen with me?
No, I'm just saying, I think it, we got to get a good basis, off of today's episode, cuz today's episode might be a short one.
Oh, well, I woke up.
Uh-huh.
That's about it.
Yeah? All right.
I don't remember what I did, actually. I did things. I don't remember them.
Any games you're playing? Any movies you watched?
I'm still playing Death Stranding.
Yeah, you've been playing
I will never stop playing Death Stranding.
You've been playing that for...
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
I want to get done with the game before the second one comes out, but, I don't want to do the story because I do not care. I do not care about anything happening except for Guillermo del Toro. That's the only person I care about. And I just completed, his little section of the game. And so now I don't care anymore. So I'm torn between, finishing the game and actually, having fun playing it, rebuilding all the roads.
So you don't even care for the story?
Not really.
What? That's crazy. I
don't know. I don't care.
Wow.
They're just, and it's because it's, I think Kojima needs restrictions, honestly, because, literally every single character just yaps and yaps and yaps and will not shut up. And I'm just dude, yesterday, it was so I just go to this lady that I've never met before. I go into, so just for some context, it's a game where you deliver packages. So when you go into a place you've never been to, the person usually introduces themselves. So I go in, and and she's just oh, thanks for that. Is there anything else you have for me? And then Sam just stares at her blankly because I don't know why. And then she's like, oh, okay, never mind. And then immediately the guy who's your boss is just or no. You just immediately go into the next order that... What happened again? Essentially, what happened is...
I was playing Pac-Man, so I don't know.
You were playing Pac-Man, so I was watching you play Pac-Man when this was happening because I didn't care. This girl just starts yapping. She's just I need a camera. My dad lost the camera. And she just goes on for literally it felt like 5 minutes. For 5 minutes where she was just explaining why she needs a camera. I swear it took less time to go get the camera than for her to... And it's just I don't need... Just say, hey, can you look for this camera for me? I say yes, I do it, we're done. That's my job. You don't need to convince me as a porter to do my job as a porter. Why do they keep... All of them do that. Every single character does that. I don't care if there's a new Java update available. And that's one reason why I don't like the story, is because they just don't present it in an interesting way. It's just people talking to you. Whereas, I think of, Metal Gear, and, people were doing things. I don't know if you remember, but they would, characters would move. They'd walk. They would actually, they weren't just standing there in a hologram. And when there are cutscenes, they're, really well shot. And they're really interesting to look at. But I don't care about any of the people, because all I know them to do is stand around and talk. And there's this one guy who's just he's you keep seeing him in this. So the stupid baby is called BB, if you don't know. And the two letters B and B, BB. Very, very funny pun, Kojima.
Good job, Kojima.
Sometimes when you plug it in, you'll just get flashbacks of this guy who's just again, just yapping. You have no idea what any of the context is. And it's at first it was interesting, but then it just kept happening, and they kept not explaining it. And then I'm just okay, well, I don't care anymore. If you're just not going to tell me, why would I invest my time into paying attention to this? And then he just shows up randomly when you get sucked into it by a tornado, and he's just there trying to shoot you. And then it's just like, okay, so is this who's the real guy? Which one's the real guy? Are they both the real guy? And I don't know now.
You see, that's what keeps me interested. And that's what keeps me going. I want to know the answer, so I keep playing the story mode, like you should have been doing from the beginning. Maybe you just have an issue with Kojima's open world game.
World?
Well, like
is it open?
I don't think so. Don't like open like.
I no, the gameplay is phenomenal. I love playing the game. Playing the game is so much more fun than watching the game, and that's why I don't want to do the story, because that's just watching.
I mean,
the game.
You also had the same issues with Metal Gear Solid 5.
Metal Gear Solid 5 was an issue with the gameplay, not the story. I mean, there was issues with the story, but every Metal Gear game, every single one that Kojima directed, at least, I liked the story more than the gameplay. Not to say gameplay was bad, of course. And in this case, it's the exact opposite, which is a problem when it's a Kojima game, because it's half of it is like just people talking. But when people were talking in Metal Gear, there's something about it that I was just like, I was into it. I think it's just the way it was written, and the characters that you're following. Like Solid Snake is interesting because he gets more mysterious almost as the series goes on, because I don't want to spoil anything, but with Sam Porter Bridges, he's just Norman Reedus. There's no difference between him and Norman Reedus, and they try to do the same thing. They try to do the same thing where they're like introducing little tidbits about him throughout the game, but it's not like subtle. It's like they will like hint at it like about an hour before they drop it. They don't hint at it any time before that, and if they do, it's so bad I don't notice. And then like it's the same with all the characters you meet. Like all the characters you meet, there's like something about them. Like their name tells you something about them, but you don't know what until they get their part in the story. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, but there's no hinting at any of it except for the name. So like Guillermo del Toro's character is called Dead Man. There's absolutely no way to connect why he's called Dead Man until he tells you why he's called Dead Man. And it's just like, so I can't think about what these characters are when they just talk to me about the plot. They don't tell me about themselves. Sam doesn't want people to talk about themselves. Sam doesn't like touching people. He's scared of touching people. And so, but like, okay, I don't want to rant. This will become a Death Stranding rant podcast.
Yeah, save it for the Death Stranding fan fictions.
No, because it will be. I can talk for probably 2 hours about just why I don't like the story, and then another 2 hours about why the gameplay is so fun.
By the way, you're like 40 hours in this game, and you're only on episode 8.
But I did 4 episodes in the past 2 weeks.
That's yeah, good job. I did all.
I'm trying to straight line it now because I'm just so I don't want to get stuck in it. It's not that I don't want to. I can't get stuck in it. I can't let the game be fun, or else I will continue to play it. It's the weirdest situation I've ever been in, where I shouldn't not want to play it, but because the second game's coming out, I do actually have to get it done, and I don't want to.
Yeah, so to pretty much summarize, you really like the gameplay.
To summarize, I wish it was like Breath of the Wild, where they just plop you in this world and you just go deliver shit to people, and there's no context to any of it. That would be amazing. Mm-hmm. Then you unlock things in the same way. You unlock the different exoskeletons. You unlock the different vehicles. Because that's what I like to do. I like trying to get around in a vehicle when you're not supposed to get around in it. I like taking the truck and pushing it up a mountain and getting it over rocks.
Yeah.
And not getting it stuck. And it feels really good because then you can shove a bunch of things in the truck and you can just be the ultimate delivery man.
Absolutely. I just played the game just straight shot. I just did all the main story, so I didn't do any of the side quests, and the game took me 40 hours to do only just the story. And I think that's why I enjoyed the story more, because that was the main focus. If I was just watching an episodes of a show,
But it's a show where the characters stand there and just talk to you, and you don't talk to them. That's what the show is.
Yeah, and I do have... I guess I'm more in love with the concept of the story rather than the execution. That's probably what it is. Because I adored Death Stranding story, but I think it's just the concept of Death Stranding story that I really like. That's probably it.
But this is not a Death Stranding podcast.
No, it's not. This is a fanfiction podcast.
Yeah.
And Jason, I am here to reintroduce a series that we've started a little while ago. One that you love so much. So why don't you open up that email and read aloud to the audience what this fanfiction is?
All right, that's the episode. See you later.
Jason, you gotta keep going.
Final Fantasy VIII Zell's Nightmare.
We're back.
Remastered.
We are back with trying to find a good Final Fantasy VIII fan fiction. Can we find it?
You say this is a series we're continuing? This is not a series we have.
Yes,
what are you talking about?
It absolutely. I told you we ended the last Final Fantasy VIII fan fiction with let's keep going and try to find a good Final Fantasy VIII fan fiction.
So that means it's a series now?
Yes.
So I have to title this part 2?
No. Technically no.
I mean it's not a series.
I mean you could put in a playlist, but
Final Fantasy VIII Zell's Nightmare Remastered by Sonata-Time-Nocturne-Aoi. Aoi is, I don't know. One shot complete. Story updated and edited as of 2017. Zell dinched love to eat hot dogs. That's nothing new. But what happens when an old spirit within Balamb Garden takes one's desires and turns it against them? Prepare for a wild ride as Zell faces the greatest evil imaginable in this hilarious horror fic. Happy Halloween, everyone. Rated T for language.
So yeah, we're back with Final Fantasy VIII. Jason, you love Final Fantasy VIII, don't you? It's one of your favorite games ever made.
I will say the story is worse than Death Stranding.
You adore Final Fantasy. I can't stop talking about it.
I talk about it so much that I haven't thought about it since the last fanfiction.
You are the #1 Final Fantasy VIII fan.
Look, Final Fantasy VIII is like a game.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's a game with characters and plot.
So yeah, this is around 2,000 words. Published on October 30th, 2017. But yeah, I will soon read that might not be the case. So
not be the case.
Yeah,
it might not have been published in 2017.
So the story: Final Fantasy VIII Zell's Nightmare Remastered. Authors:
I want to know why it says remastered.
Master Jin Sonata. Written on October 30th, 2017. Remastered on November 3rd, 2017.
What does that mean?
Genre: humor/horror. Rated T. Language. Disclaimer: we do not own Square or its hot dog eating compadre. Author's note: the story idea was something I've been meaning to write and publish several years ago, around 2003 to be exact. Better late than never.
I agree. Except in the case of Final Fantasy VIII fanfictions, you can just leave them. You don't have to publish them.
Alright, so one shot. Final Fantasy VIII Zell's Nightmare Remastered. Zell's room. It was late in the evening at Balamb Garden. Most of the student body were already in the dorm rooms, either doing homework or just chilling with friends. Zell Dinch, our residential martial artist and hot dog lover, has fallen asleep earlier that afternoon after an extensive training session with a T-Rex within the garden's training center. Not quite sure what triggered it, but Zell awoke in a daze. He found himself on his couch, his head resting on the soft cushion as he pushed his palms against his eyes to wipe away the tiredness he felt. He must have been seriously knocked out as he saw that it was after 10 p.m. upon looking at his cell phone.
Damn, when did I doze off? Well, it doesn't really matter. Time to get a bite to eat before it gets too late.
Zell tells himself as he hops to his feet and jogs out of the room. Garden Center Rotunda. Okay.
Rotunda.
Rotunda. What's a rotunda?
The middle.
Oh, so it's like the one with the elevator.
Yes.
Okay. Along the way towards the cafeteria, he notices a familiar face standing alone by the central stairwell that leads to the elevator. It was a library girl, the one with a pigtail that was crushing on him. She looked a bit lost and not quite her usual self upon further inspection, as Zell casually approaches her.
Hey, sup? Something spook you?
Zell asked her, resting his hand in his pocket. At first, she was a bit hesitant to answer. She had already expressed her feelings for Zell in the past, so talking to him shouldn't have been intimidating. No, something else was bothering her.
Well,
She began, not knowing where to start.
have you heard any stories about a strange occurrence that happens around this time of year?
The library girl cautiously asks. Zell raises an eyebrow at the odd question, but then sneers.
Nope, can't say I have. Some sort of foreign or occult holiday that I don't know of?
He inquires.
Yeah, on the eve of the 31st of October, it is said that an ancient spirit that lives within these garden walls comes to life and manifests itself into the minds of its victims. The spirit then feeds upon that person's greatest desires before using it to consume them in insanity.
The library girl explains. Zell states, his voice trailing off as he did not know how to respond to such a tall tale.
That sounds odd. How do you know about this exactly?
He questioned her.
It all started here with this journal.
The library girl answers, pulling out a small red book from within her pocket, showing it to Zell.
I implore you to read it, for your own protection, of course.
Zell leans in closer to get a better look at the old book.
Sure, I'll give it a flip through. It'll give me something to read while I chow down on some grub.
Zell responds, taking the book from the girl and tucking into his back pant pockets. He then stretches his arm and yawns, shutting his eyes in the process.
So, what are you gonna do next? Wanna join me for dinner?
As Zell finishes his question, he opens his eyes once more, only to see the library girl has suddenly disappeared without a trace. Zell stood there dumbfounded for a full 30 seconds trying to figure out what was going on before shrugging off the thought.
Oh well, she must have gone to the little girl's room or something. Now where was I?
Zell said as he resumes his jog towards the cafeteria. Garden cafeteria. Arriving at the cafeteria, Zell immediately noticed that he was the only person there.
Man, this place is dead tonight. Oh well, that means no lines for me to wait in to get my food.
Zell says as he approaches the counter to order.
Hey, lunch lady, I'll take 30 hot dogs with a side order of chili and a small Diet Coke.
Zell calls out, trying to get some sort of service. As if cue, a tray packed to the brim with its exact order starts floating up from behind the counter and levitates in front of Zell's face, as if it was beckoning him to take it. Zell laughs a bit nervously at the weird but somewhat cool demonstration.
Ho ho, I see y'all trying to play. Is that what it say? Y'all, what do you...
Not in that voice.
Oh ho ho, I see y'all trying to play a prank on me by using the float spell to deliver my food, eh?
Zell says, hoping for a response from someone in the back kitchen who was performing the stunt. There was no answer.
Okay.
Zell says quietly as he slowly takes the tray and heads to an empty seat near the center of the cafeteria eating area. Plopping himself down, the book given to him earlier by the library girl pops out of his back pocket, falling to the floor.
Oops, nearly forgot about this.
He says, leaning down to pick it up. As he began to mow down the pile of hot dogs, Zell thumbs through the old book, not finding anything of immediate interest.
Man, that girl sure has a weird taste in books. I wonder if she's into any martial arts novels or cookbooks.
Zell ponders out loud as he continues to try to find something that stands out. Nearing the end of the journal, Zell stops on the last page, his eyes flying open in shock at what he was now staring at. It was an old pencil sketch of a young man that looked exactly like him.
What the? Is this some sort of joke to frighten me? I bet the library girl drew this in just to scare me.
Zell chuckled, realizing that this coincidence was probably a well-fabricated prank. Humoring the notion, he decides to turn the page to see if anything else was worth looking at. He did, in fact. On the backside of the drawing was a note. It read, "Beware what consumes you, as your innermost desires will be your undoing, as the spirit of the garden will seek those who indulge in it." Zell slams the book shut and places it on the table.
Man, that's enough of this garbage. This is all completely bogus.
He reassures himself, resuming his meal. As he neared the end of his dinner, Zell suddenly hears something strange from behind him. It was the sound of growling. Zell smirks.
All right, library girl, or cafeteria lady. I know what you're trying to do, trying to scare the pants off me. Well, it's not going to work.
Zell says sarcastically as he turns in his seat to face whoever had approached him. Zell freezes in place and slowly lifts his head. As he was now face to face with a gargantuan monster-looking chili dog that was the size and length of a double-decker bus. It had small beady white eyes, but that in itself was offset by his wide row of chainsaw-like teeth that was oozing thick chili sauce from its mouth. It glowers down upon Zell, continuing to growl.
Yeah? Yeah?
Maliciously, what?
Maliciously?
Maliciously at him. Its eyes looking like it wanted to eat Zell at any given moment. Zell shrieks in a high-pitched panic as he trips over himself trying to leave the table, bolting away from the monsterly evil chili dog as the freakishly huge creature jumps onto the table, smashing it to pieces while it attempts to shuffle and chases after its target. Garden hallway near the quad.
The quad.
Running so fast that he was leaving a trail of flames behind him, Zell frantically flees the cafeteria and down the hallways of the garden, not even attempting to look back to see if that monster was still after him. Turning a corner near the quad, Zell runs into Cypher. How do you pronounce the name again?
Whatever you want. Cypher. They don't have voice acting in that game. I just do whatever you want.
Appearing to be on patrol, they collide into one another, sending Cypher flying backwards into a bunch of trash cans against the wall.
Damn it all, chicken wuss. What the hell is your problem?
Cypher yells out as he quickly regains his composure and stands back up onto his feet.
Cypher! Boy, am I glad to see you! You gotta help me! I'm being attacked by a big-ass killer chili dog!
Zell frantically tells Cypher.
Are you high off your rocker? What are you talking about? There's no such thing as giant killer chili dogs. I'm gonna have to write you up and send you to the infirmary for your delusional...
Cypher says in a huff as he prepares to pull out his clipboard and pen from his trench coat. Crash! When suddenly the giant evil chili dog crashes into Cypher from above without warning, crushing him in an instant. Zell screams as he turns about face and flees the quad and continues his escape down the hallways. Garden hallway near the parking lot.
Who's gonna kill everyone in the game?
Eventually, Zell sees his team in the distance near the parking lot. Squall, Riona, Irving, Selfie, and Quistance were the members present.
Quistance, oh my god. Quistance.
I hate that name so much. Screeching to a halt in front of his pals, Zell heaves heavily as it appears he had outran his aggressor.
Zell, what in the world is going on?
Yeah, what's eating you?
Hey?
Quintus inquires. Hey, what's eating you? Sophie asks out of curiosity.
A giant ass hot dog! That's what!
Zell shouts to Sophie in particular in response to the seemingly tasteless remark.
Whoa! Easy there, fella. Take a breath and tell us the issue.
Irving says, trying to calm Zell down. After a moment of regaining his composure, Zell sighs and starts explaining to them the whole story from the time he woke up to the point of Zell getting wrecked by this monstrous food-like creature.
You have got to be kidding me.
Squall responds in disbelief, arms crossed as he listens begrudgingly to the seemingly fallacious story.
Don't make me be everyone.
Squall, don't be so hard on him, Fiona states before looking back towards Zell. How about we go and take a look at this creature that's after you? Maybe it's some sort of gigantic prop gone awry or something, Fiona offers.
I don't know, guys. That thing seems way too realistic and bloodthirsty to be some sort of wacky mechanism.
Zell responds in
I
doubt.
think it is a wacky mechanism.
Well then, it appears.
That was Jet the Hawk. Actually, I like that.
Well then, it appears we'll just have to take that thing out ourselves.
The 18-year-old Quintus responds, taking out her chain whip and giving it a crack.
Guys, I'm telling you, I don't think that's such a good idea.
Zell pleads with his team.
I don't remember what voice I had for Squall. Nonsense. We'll get to the bottom of this right now so we can prove to you that you are just overreacting as always.
Squall says dryly. Before Zell could say another word, all of his pals rushed from within the parking lot and into the hallway, readying their weapons. The familiar growl of the giant chili dog monster could be heard in the distance as it was soon approaching them.
Okay, guys, get ready. It sounds like it's coming down the north side of the...
Squall started to say. When he and everyone else was suddenly devoured in one big gulp by the chili dog monster, who had surprise attacked them all from the opposite direction. Zell, standing all alone once again, couldn't move from fear as the monster then turns its attention onto him, encroaching upon our hero, ready to eat him next.
Oh. No!
Zell yelled at the top of his lungs as the giant chili dog monster dives in for the kill. Zell's room.
Wah!
Zell lets out a loud yelp as he was now back in his room, lying on his couch. He was sweating profusely and breathing heavily from the apparently nightmare he had just experienced.
The apparently nightmare. Man, it was all just a bad dream.
Zell said, sitting upright and sighing loudly with relief. He looked toward the clock, which read 10 p.m. once again.
That is the last time I overtrained myself to exhaustion. I should go get something to eat,
He said to himself before getting a buzz on his cell phone that sat on the table next to his couch. He picks it up and checks to see who was calling him. It was the library girl. Zell answers.
Hello?
Hi, Zell! Missed you at dinner earlier. Want to go get some chili dogs for dinner? I also have a cool book on spirits I want to share with you.
No! No chili dogs! No goddamn chili dogs, a creepy ass bug!
Zell shouts into his phone before slamming it onto the floor, effectively and abruptly ending the call. Zell plops back down on his couch and groans.
I think I'll stick to eating vegetables for a while.
He says, burying his face into the cushions beneath him in frustration. The end. Thank you for reading, and please review. Check out our 50+ story library for more great tales we're writing.
Alright, I'm gonna do that right now.
Alright, what is this? Sonata.
71 story.
Wow, that is 50+. He's not wrong.
Why do you have
All right.
sections to your bio? Pokemon 100
A
Ways to
Naruto
Destroy
Among Us!
Team Rocket Remastered.
Naruto Among Us! Naruto Among Us!
Oh, I see
Jason,
that now.
look at this picture!
I see
look
it.
at the Naruto
I see
picture!
it.
It's the Among Us!
Chapter 6 is up. A twist on the popular game Among Us. 10 shinobi, 2 imposters.
this is
who
amazing.
are innocent among the Hidden Leaf shinobi. Who were the imposters among us?
Yes!
Oh, dude, we need to find Among Us fanfiction.
Dude, I never thought... Okay, all these are Naruto.
Naruto Team 10 hates Halloween. Harry Potter and the massive crossover of Chaos Remastered. What is it remastered? You can't remaster a
Skyrim,
book.
Dynasty, Soul Calibur, Zelda, The Misadventures of Link. Woo! I might look into that one. Dynasty, Naruto, Final Fantasy 7, dude. We gotta go get back on Final Fantasy 7. Another Final Fantasy 8 one. Wow.
You can like not save that. You can like forget about it.
Dragon Ball Z: The Complete Fast Food Parody Saga. All right, I'm saving that one as well. Oh my gosh.
Mario the Complete Classics Collection? What is this picture? He's like halfway out of a pipe face palming.
What? I haven't seen that one.
The numerous Mario shorts written over the years.
Wow.
There's the Mario Gets Owned trilogy. Yoshi versus Kirby also has a trilogy.
Whoa. Dude. Okay, we might have found someone pretty good.
No Yoshi 2.1.
I mean, no,
but, like,
Jason, that's the best. How you can't compare everyone to the best. All
I'm
right?
going to.
All right. Speaking of which, how was the fan fiction of your favorite
Well,
video
it would have
game?
been the best one because everyone died, but it was a dream, so it's back down to like a 1.
Well, okay. Well, is this better than the last one we did?
I literally have no memory of the last one. I don't remember what it was about.
So it was like 3 minutes
I just
after.
remember it was about Renoa. Oh no, it was written by Renoa. It was written by Renoa Hartley or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, it was, and
What I can't remember. What was it about?
I'm literally going to our play. I'm going to our channel. I'm going to our channel.
Yeah. Okay.
Love Takes Time by Renoa Hartley. Yeah, no, this one was about.
Oh, was that where it was just romance?
Yeah, it was like.
Oh yeah, that one sucked. This one's a little bit better than that.
Yeah, and then Quistis was like getting all jealous, and then Zell was all like, "Yo, what's up?"
This was a little bit better than that one because it was short.
So
and no romance.
So go check out our episode on Love Takes Time by
What number
Renoa
is
Hartley.
that?
That's episode 19. So
Go do it.
yeah, then the one before that was Skylanders Tale of the Dragon.
Do that one instead. That one's way better. Oh my gosh.
That one was one of our best. I would give this one a 5.
Out of 5?
Oh wait, no.
What are you doing?
2. No, wait.
We've always done it out of 5.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3.
So that would be 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 out of 5. Because it was boring for the first half, but then at the second half when everyone was there and got eaten, that was kind of funny.
Final Fantasy VII Barrett versus the Burger King mascot, the complete saga.
The complete saga. Yep. All right, we're saving this one. They were saving this guy. Sonata-Time-Nocturne-Aoi.
Kingdom Hearts. That's illegal, Remastered.
This is illegal, Dude, I gotta search for more Zelda CDI fanfiction.
Dude, okay. What did you think of my highly accurate headcanon voices?
Different from the last episode.
Because I told you I have no memory of that. I don't remember who I was or
I
what
like
voices
the last
I did.
one. The last episode was better, but this was also pretty funny.
I was just Johnny from Hotel Transylvania. I was trying to do.
No, to me, Zell sounded more like what was his name from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs?
What?
Yeah, the fat guy.
No, the fat guy.
Yeah,
it might be the same.
Brett.
Yeah,
you were.
It was kind of going for like that with like a It's like one of those like dumb character voices.
Right. You see, I always imagined Zell as like a poorly like 90s, like a bad 90s voice actor. You know, that's all like, yo, what's up? You know, like that's how I imagine Zell at. But yeah, so that was Final Fantasy VIII Zell's Nightmare Remastered. What did you think of it? Leave us in the comments. Leave us in the comments of what you thought of Zell's Nightmare Remastered. And give us some from other fanfiction recommendations if you got any.
You don't have to. I have way too many. I don't need more.
I keep running. I literally had 2 ideas of fanfictions, but I completely forgot about them, and then I just went with this one.
You should have done the other ones.
Absolutely, yeah. Like the No Man's Sky one I have planned.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, it's a pretty well known one, honestly.
Oh, is it?
So
I wouldn't know it.
I can't wait. That might be next. The next 2 weeks. You don't know. Got to subscribe to find out. So hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you all next
Apple,
time.
let us make an account. Find out next. Well, not next week, but the week after that when we record again.
Goodbye.
Apple will not let us make an account.